Diza, where is this child? Hadiza, it's time for school. What's the complaint this time around? Hajia, Halima said, looking affectionately at her daughter. My stomach is paining me, Mama, Hadiza said, looking at her mother. Really, Diza, your stomach again? So you don't want to go to school today, right? Hadiza nodded her head. Mama, just today. By tomorrow, my stomach will stop paining me. Diza, okay, just today. But after today, if your stomach is paining you or not, you will go to school. Let me get you some pills, Halima said as she walked to her room. Here you go, take this, it will relieve you, my Diza. Okay, since you are not going to school today, let me tell you a story. Diza said as she quickly sat close to her mother. Okay, Diza, here is my story. In the great village of Kevi lived a rich and influential man named Al-Haji Usman Musa Dada. He was a powerful figure in the village, highly revered and respected. His decision was the final say in the community and his family. Al-Haji had 3 wives, Binta, Halima, and Farida. He loved them dearly, but his favorite was Halima, whom he always called his better half. Binta had 2 sons and 3 daughters. Halima had 6 sons and a daughter, while Farida had 3 daughters. Farida yearned to have a son, but despite all she did, Allah blessed her with 3 daughters instead. Every opportunity Al-Haji had, he always boasted of his 8 sons. These are my future, my generations, my world, and everything. He trained them in every aspect, Islamic schools, his businesses, and when the white men came, he sent them to their school. He wanted to give his children the best. Well, that's what he called his sons, my children. But his girls, he just called them by the names or their mother's children. At this point, Halima laughed and then continued telling the story. Binta's 3 daughters were married off at an early age as they turned 15. Al-Haji married them to his rich friends to become their 2nd, 3rd, or 4th wives. Their marriages were celebrated greatly, but then junior Halima, Halima's only daughter, hated that. She always envied her brothers and wished she could have the opportunity to be educated because she loved to watch her brothers at the village school and when they came home discussing what they learned. Whenever her mother saw her sneaking to the school, she would quickly run, drag her ears, and warn her sternly, Halima, wallahi. Do you want to put me in trouble? What are you doing there? Don't you know you are not supposed to be there? Did you see any girl there? Soon, you will be 14 and will be married off to Al-Haji Danjuma. Don't put me in trouble, this child, she would keep saying to Halima. But the more her mother warned her to stay clear, the more Halima was engrossed in knowing more. Over time, Halima became friends with one of the white teachers. Seeing her interest and passion to be educated, she started teaching her whenever Halima was free to come and learn. Little by little, Halima was learning and loving the experience dearly. The time came for Halima to be married to Al-Haji Danjuma. On that beautiful day, the compound was filled with guests. Al-Haji Usman Musa Dada, the most respected, influential, and richest man in the village, was marrying his favorite wife's only daughter. As Halima came outside with her mother, she looked at her father and her supposed husband. Baba, Mama, I don't want to get married to Al-Haji Danjuma. What? Her father said, looking at her angrily. Who gave you the guts to tell me what to do in my own home? Halima, this is your husband, and today you are going to his house. Can you imagine? If not for the love I have for your mother, you wouldn't have liked what I would have done to you now. Go. He pushed her. That's your husband. Danji, please, do take good care of my Yaranya for me, Al-Haji Usman said, looking at Al-Haji Danjuma. Al-Haji, don't you trust me? I have 6 wives already, why won't I take good care of my 7th? They both laughed. Baba, Halima said looking at her father angrily. I don't want to get married to him. I want to go to school, be educated like Ahmed, Musa, Idris, Yusuf. Why can't I be? I am just 14, what do I know about marriage, and look at the old man I want to be with for the rest of my life. No Baba, please. She knelt down. Allow me to go to school and I promise you won't regret it. Her father looked at her with more rage and then to her mother. Inna Halima, what are you feeding your daughter? School? Which school? You're a girl, have you ever seen any of us training any Yaranya? Why waste our resources when at the end it's the kitchen and the other room you will end up in? Why change the natural way? As a girl, you are to bear children, take good care of them and the home. Halima, don't piss me off today. He turned to Al-Haji Danjuma. Please take your wife, don't mind these children, most times they just say what comes to their mind. They laughed and continued with the marriage ceremony. Halima went to her husband's house and cried throughout the night, refusing to see Al-Haji. Weeks passed and Al-Haji got so pissed at her. Hey Halima, what is your problem? You are now a married woman, not a child. This is my last warning to you, if not I will bundle you back to your father's house, and you know what that means. It's a big disgrace to your family. Respect yourself Halima, you are now a wife, a married woman. Al-Haji Danjuma said, walking angrily out of the house. Halima kept crying profusely. I want to go to school, I am not a married woman nor a wife, I was being forced into this sham called marriage by Baba, please take me home. She kept saying as she continued crying. Halima, Zainab Danjuma's first wife, said as she consoled her. I understand your pain, but this education you are talking about, it's not done here. Have you seen any female child going to school? It's meant for just the boys. Our place is just to take care of our husband, children and the home. That's the designed plan from the beginning, you can't change it. My daughters that are grown up, they are all married. This lady talking to you, your most senior wife, is already a kaka, grandmother, she smiled, smiling and saying it with pride. Halima, don't make Al-Haji take you back to your father's house. You know it's a big taboo in this land, don't bring shame to your family. You will get used to the fact of being a wife very soon, and I will be willing to teach you. Remove those thoughts of going to school, because it won't happen. Our new wife, she said as she consoled Halima. Halima, you are leaving this house today, I am tired. I got married to 6 wives and had no issue, you small brat, that's supposed to be easy to control, you want to kill me before my time. Let me tell you, I have daughters that are older than you, even some of my grandchildren are older than you, and here you are giving me difficult time. I am done with this marriage. Al-Haji Danjuma said as he packed her belongings. Al-Haji, please forgive her, she is just a child, the other wives said as they kept pleading for Halima. Just a child, you said, and she wants to go to school, does a child knows that? Well, I can't continue with her, let her go back to her father's house. Danjuma said angrily. Al-Haji, that will be a big disgrace to her family, please forgive her. Bintu said, kneeling, pleading to Al-Haji. My decision is final, I am taking her back to her family. He said, pushing Halima out of the house with her belongings. Mother, Halima, can you see the disgrace your daughter has brought to me, can you see it? How can I face the villagers? My family is now the topic of discussion amongst the people. Because of what? I have a daughter who is ripe of age and gave her out to a very rich man who can take good care of her. No, she said she wants to go to school, wants to be educated, wants to be like her brothers. Did you not train her well? Did you not tell her where she belongs, the kitchen, the other room, and the home? Hajia Halima, warn your daughter. Al-Haji Usman said as he walked out of Hajia Halima's hut angrily. Halima, you won't kill me. Why is it that my only daughter wants to bring pain to me? You would have just come as a son so that I wouldn't have faced this stress. Which one is it? You want to go to school. You are a girl, for crying out loud. Halima. Days passed, and the tension at home began to die down. Halima pleaded with her father, Al-Haji Usman, but gave him his space for that period. 2 days later, Usman saw Halima learning in the village school in the evening as the teacher was tutoring her in the class. As Halima saw her father, she started shaking. Halima, he screamed at her, meet me at home now. Good evening, sir, the teacher greeted. How are you doing, sir? Al-Haji looked at her with a scornful look. Teacher, mind your business, leave my daughter alone. He walked out of the classroom. Halima, is he your father? The teacher asked, looking at Halima. Yes, ma, that's my Baba. I am finished, she said as she ran after Al-Haji. At home, Al-Haji was talking angrily as Halima entered the house. He walked to her angrily and immediately started using the cane he was holding to beat her. Halima, I will teach you a lesson in this house. I am your Baba, and what I say is final. You brought shame to this family, as if that is not enough, you are still insisting on this education of yours. I will not allow you to change the narrative. You are not a boy, you are not one of my sons, stay in your place. He kept beating her as Halima kept crying and pleading. Halima, please pity me, her mother said as she helped her clean the injuries she incurred due to the beatings. Ouch, Mama, it's paining me, Halima said, looking at her mother. Why won't it pain you? You are being stubborn, and seriously, you deserve this. You know your barber rarely beats his children, but you pushed him to the extreme. Halima, her mother dropped the towel she was using and looked at her. You are a girl, a Yarania, a female child. You can never go to school or be educated. Why can't this get into your brain? Okay, look at Khadija, your stepsister Farida's first daughter. She is getting married to Al-Haji Danjuma this Saturday because of what you did. That shame was too much for the family, now she is going to cover up for it. She was supposed to be married to Al-Haji Sanusi, but because of you, she is being given to Al-Haji Danjuma. Her mother is not happy because she prefers Sanusi to Danjuma. Halima, please stop these wild dreams of yours. You can go to school, be educated in your dreams, but in reality, it can never happen. Age is not on your side again, my dear. You are 15 now, you need to start your home, your family, bear children, take good care of them, and teach them the right things to do. When you have your sons, you can take them to school, and your daughters train them for marriage. My dearest Halima, wake up from this dream and face reality. Wuahum, she said as she picked back the towel and continued pressing the injuries. That Saturday came, and it was a beautiful wedding ceremony between Khadija and Al-Haji Danjuma. A few days after the wedding, Baba called Halima to his hut. Halima, why are you stubborn? Look at your sister, Khadija, she is married to the same man you were married to before, but due to your stubbornness, he brought you back home. Look at her. No complaints from Al-Haji. He has even sent his appreciation gifts to me, he said, pointing to the gifts. That's to show he is pleased with her. That's how a daughter should behave. But you want to become a man by all means, having unrealistic thoughts. For no reason should I hear school from your mouth again. Well, I am still thinking of which man I will hand you over to for marriage, as the shame you brought to the family before is making the other Al-Hajis have a different thought about you. Finally, it will be all those struggling boys that you will end up with. Because of what you did to Al-Haji Danjuma, the rich and wealthy Al-Hajis that would have taken good care of you already have their reservations about you. Halima, don't bring shame to this family again. Now leave my sight. Halima left Baba's hut and ran to the village stream. There, she sat down, imagining how great she would be when she finally finished her education. 3 months later, Halima came to the house smiling with her teacher. Baba, she said, smiling, running to Baba's hut. Halima, what is it? Why are you screaming my name like that this beautiful evening? And who do we have here? He said, looking at her teacher. Good afternoon, Al-Haji Usman, we meet again. How are you doing, sir? She said as she greeted him. Woman, what are you doing here? What is your mission? Halima, he stared at her with an angry look. Okay, sir, the woman replied, I came to bring this amazing news to you. Your daughter Halima just won a scholarship to further her secondary, tertiary, and down to her PhD level education. She will be traveling to the United Kingdom to further her studies. She is such a brilliant child, and for her doggedness and determination, despite all odds, the governing council in charge of the schools here has found her to be an exceptional child. Also, being the only female child who has indicated a strong desire to be educated, we have to do our best to ensure she achieves her dreams. And sir, please do not deny her this great opportunity because you will forever appreciate why you did accept it. Educating the female child is not a waste but a great blessing. I beg to take my leave. Please, sir, once again, do me this great favor and do not deny her this opportunity. Halima, well done. Well, she will be leaving by next weekend but had to come and take your permission first. Please don't deny her this. Thank you, sir. The teacher hugged Halima and walked out of the hut. Al-Haji Usman looked at Halima with a hateful look. Halima, what is actually your problem? You know you are getting married to Hassan next weekend, and now you brought that woman to my house to tell me what? Halima, he shouted at her. At that moment, Al-Haji's wives came to his house quietly. Halima, as you have decided you don't want to be my child anymore, you don't want to listen to me, your Baba, and want to become a boy overnight, Halima Usman Musadada, choose this day between your family, which also implies you getting married to Hassan next Saturday, and that school of yours. If you choose your family, forget anything about school, education, or whatever you call it in this house and forever. But if you choose that school of yours, just know I have disowned you as my child. At that point, Inna Halima ran to kneel down in front of her husband. Ah, please, Al-Haji, so no na, she is a child, she is just a child, she said as she started crying. Just a child, Al-Haji shouted back at her. Just a child, and she has gone so far with that school of hers, disobeying all of us, bringing shame to this family, and you call her just a child. Really, she is not a child, she knows what she is doing. If she had been a respectful child, wouldn't she have been in her husband's house, maybe with a child by now? Halima, he said, turning to her angrily. Choose this day which you want, family or school. Halima's mother knelt down, crying. Ah, Halima, this girl, please have mercy on me, why are you doing this to me? Halima stood, looking at her barber, then her mother, her stepparents, brothers, her two little stepsisters, and back to her barber. Barber, I am so sorry. Family comes first in my life, I can't trade family for anything, but my life is my education. Yes, I am a girl child, but that doesn't mean I am made for just the kitchen, the other room, and the home. I have the same opportunity and right to be educated as my brothers, and since I have been given this golden opportunity that will change my life forever, I won't trade it for anything. She knelt down. I am sorry to disappoint you, Barber, I choose school. I promise to make you proud, and when I am back, you will be happy that I made this decision. Educating a female child is a great investment and blessing to any family, community, society, and country at large. Inna, she said, looking at her mother, I am your only daughter, and I choose to be an educated one at that. I love you all, but I have to chase my dreams. Halima said, talking to her father. Okay, so be it, I hereby disown you as my child. As you leave this house to go and chase your dreams, for no reason should you step your feet back into this home, Barber said as he turned his back on Halima. Ah, Halima, don't do this to us, Hajia Halima kept crying as the other wives joined to plead with Barber. In Halima's mind, a lot of thoughts raced through it. Halima, are you doing the right thing? School over family, harbor Halima. Halima, this is your life, hold it in your hands. Do you want to spend all your life in regrets? Change the narrative, Halima, face and conquer your world. At that moment, she screamed, I choose education, I choose my life. My family remains first to me, but now I have to make a change. She said as she stormed out of the house. Ah, Halima, Halima, Halima. Her mother said as she ran after her. The other wives kept discussing in hushed tones amongst themselves. That period was hell in the Usman house. Halima's mind was already made up. Her mother pleaded, her stepmothers also, but Halima stood her ground. She was leaving to face and conquer her world. The night before she traveled, she pleaded with her mother and stepmothers not to allow her remaining stepsisters to get married when they came of age, that she would come back for them. Farida, her stepmother, stood up with rage talking to Halima. What are you saying? My daughters should not get married when of age. You know I don't have a son, and because of that, your father sees me as less of a wife, so when it's time to be honored as a mother, I should say no. You are joking, you stubborn, disrespectful child of Hajia Halima. Don't ever come to my hut to tell me what to do. Go and face your world and leave my daughters out of this. Okay, Ma, I have heard, but please just do this for me. I promise you, I will come back for them. Time will tell, and I am so sure it will yield positive results, she said as she walked out of the hut. Her brothers discussed and pleaded with her, but her mind was already made up. That Saturday, Halima traveled to England to further her education. 10 years later, Halima came home to visit, looking so beautiful and all grown up. As she entered her mother's hut, Hajia Halima was so full of joy upon seeing her daughter after all these years. Halima, is this you? Ooh. My world, you look so good. This is beautiful. How is life with you, my daughter? She said, admiring and praising her daughter. Inna, I am fine. We came for a program here, staying for just 2 days, so I came to visit my family before we travel back. And that's not all. What of Amina and Hawa? Hope they are not married yet because I came to take them along just as I promised when I left. Halima said, looking at her mother. Well, when you left, Amina and Hawa refused to get married despite Barber's efforts. They said they would wait for you because you said you would come back for them. My daughter, it's been hell for me. Barber has been so furious and pissed at me. Shay, you can see my hut is now so far from the main compound. Baba said my daughter has brought so much pain to the family than good. But now, I am so happy seeing you here. She hugged her daughter tightly. Ah, that's so bad, Mama. I am so sorry for making you go through all of this. Mama, you will follow me back. Let me take good care of you. Let me go and meet Hajia Farida. As she stepped out of the hut, she went to Farida's hut. Her stepmother was so happy to see her. They discussed at length, and she finally agreed for her daughters, Amina and Hawa, to follow her back to England. Halima tried every possible means to see her Baba, but he refused to see her. As she was going back, she took her two stepsisters with her, as her mother refused to follow her back to England despite her pleas. Hajia Halima kept saying she would stay back to take care of her husband. Years later, Baba al-Haji Usman fell seriously ill, and a group of notorious men were destroying what he had built for years and terrorizing the village. There was a serious clash with some hoodlums who vowed they would destroy all that he had suffered to build over the years. This present situation made his wives, children, and the entire village very scared. They took al-Haji to different medicinal houses for a cure, but instead, the illness became worse. Al-Haji, Hajia, those men have been arrested. All thanks to Allah, the villagers said as they ran to al-Haji's hut joyfully, in celebratory mood, to tell him the good news. Arrested. Ah, this is good news. Finally, al-Haji said weakly. As he was talking, he turned and saw a very beautiful lady dressed in a high-ranking police uniform as the Deputy Inspector General of Police. Baba, she said as she ran to hug him. Ah, Halima. He said weakly. Is this you? Yes, Baba, it is Halima, flesh and blood. Ah, Baba, let us quickly take you to the hospital. Baba, Amina and Hawa said as they hugged him. Ha, look at my daughters. You all look so good and grown. This is beautiful. Ah, Baba, I am so sorry about your health, but now we are here to take good care of you. We are going to the hospital right away. They took Baba to the hospital, and weeks later, he was back, hale and hearty. At his hut, he was smiling, looking at Halima, Amina, and Hawa. My daughters, I am so sorry for the way I treated you years back. Halima, my precious one, I am super sorry. If not for you standing your ground, facing your fears, and following your dreams, who would have brought peace to this community by arresting those hoodlums terrorizing us? Baba, look at you, a high-ranking officer in the police. Amina, a medical doctor, and Hawa, a lawyer who was able to defend her father and brought those criminals to justice. Ah, I have failed as a father. I thought it was just my sons I needed to focus on and give the best to, and also that educating the female child was a total waste. But look at you girls, you have brought the family to the limelight and have changed this family around for good. Look at the beautiful house you built for us. Your mothers, they are so happy. Halima, may Allah keep blessing you abundantly for me, you actually have brought light home. Thank you so much. I am super proud and grateful to be your father and give birth to a strong woman like you. Truly, educating a female child is not a waste but a legacy well built. Thank you, my daughters. They all hugged, and al-Haji celebrated his daughters in a grand feast in the village. After that incident, there was a drastic change in the minds of the villagers about educating the girl child. The narrative that a female child is made for the kitchen, the other room, and the home was changed drastically, and a lot of developments came to the village. Halima was honored, respected, and given a great title in the village. Her story was told to the younger generation as a source of inspiration to them. Well, that's the end of my story, my cute Diza. You see, education is the best legacy you can give to any child, male or female. So, my love, no more pranks, you are going to school tomorrow. Focus on your education and become a great woman tomorrow, just like Halima. Halima didn't have the ample opportunity that you have now, but she took the little opportunity presented to her despite the challenges and became a well-respected woman in society, facing her lemons to bring out beautiful lemonade from it. Diza, dearest, you have the privilege now, don't misuse it. Inna, I have heard. I won't joke with my education ever again, but what happened to the other daughters that were already married? She asked, looking at her mother. Well, they couldn't go back to school, but they ensured the daughters did, Halima responded, smiling at Hadiza. Okay, so bad for them. Well, thank Allah for Halima, she is really a strong, determined, and focused woman. But wait, Mama, why are they answering your family names? Kaka is also Al-Haji Usman, and he has 3 wives, Kaka Binta, Halima, and Farida, and your Ina's name is Hajia Halima. Moreover, Aunt Amina is a medical doctor, and Aunt Hawa is a lawyer. And Halima is a police officer, and you, Mama, are a high-ranking police officer, an inspector general of police. So what am I missing, Ina? Hadiza said, looking at her mother. Such a smart child you are, Diza. I am super proud of you. Well, I just told you my story. I am Halima, the lady I just told you about, she said, smiling at her daughter. Ooh, Mama, you are my superhero, my heroine. Ina, I promise you, just as you made Grandbaba and Mama proud, I will do more than that. I won't joke with my education again, my stomach won't pain me again, maybe small. They both laughed. This is amazing, Mama. Thank you for changing the narrative in your family, society, and community about educating the girl child. And thank Allah you refused to get married to that old grandpa, Al-Haji Danjuma, as his 7th wife and Al-Haji Hassan as his 3rd wife. You ran the rough race and finished victoriously. Look at my handsome Baba, he is the Minister of Education. Thank you, Mama. They both hugged as they walked to the kitchen, gisting and smiling. The end.